Happy Independence Day, everyone. I really would have loved to opt out of saying that, but we try to find our happiness as Nigerians. Things may never be going great for us, but we always find a way to, you know, roll in the dip. They push us to the world. We just crack some parts open and just build a 1-bedroom apartment in it. Welcome to Hard Facts, and this is the extended version of the Roundtable, and this one's a special Independence Day version of it. My name is Mariana Kun. Thanking you for joining us. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Spot me in pink. I'm not wearing green. Not that I don't love my country, just couldn't find a green to wear. So I wore the brightest of colors because I need to feel gay and happy. And yes, gay, look it up in the word. It means someone who's happy, okay? It's not what you guys have turned it into. Get your minds out of the gutter. You can join us on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation also on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. I'm being joined in the studio by my colleague, and he's a news anchor editor. I like his analysis in pidgin. Unfortunately, today he has to speak English. Ikechukwu, welcome to the studio. I see how you're nodding your head. Why are you nodding your head? What are you agreeing with?
No, the pidgin and English comparison is what I'm nodding.
Yeah, because I prefer your analysis in pidgin.
I like you in green, in pink though.
Yeah, it's not my favorite color though, but I just needed something to brighten my day,
Yeah, I like what at least you're giving me a reason to like you more.
Welcome, guys. Today we're going to be joined by 3 analysts virtually. I will introduce them in a bit as soon as we get them to join us live via Zoom. We'll get the conversation rolling. There's a lot to discuss, but on this segment, we're going to be talking about good governance, election reforms, and accountability. These are priorities. If you ask me, if we get these 3 things right on the board and in action, smooth sailing is all we'll have as a country. Yes, of course, the teething problems will always be there, but if we are able to pin these things down, I tell you, Nigeria will be actually in the league of first world countries. But until then, we're going to be having these kinds of conversations. So once again, welcome to the show. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, I'll start the conversation off with my guest here in the studio. What am I saying? My colleague. And then, of course, the guests who are joining us.
I'm your guest.
We will move on with the conversation. Once again, what are you doing for Independence Day? Who cooked it while going? Please let me come to your house and eat. We'll be right back after this break.
Takes. What are the feelings of people knowing that Fubara is set to return as governor of Rivers State?
We have crisis before, we have actions during, and definitely there will be some actions after.
Regulation of food prices, I think that some miracle is supposed to happen, and our magician is the president.
The farmers that you are giving directives to say you want to crash the full price, that not only farmers.
Some of these monies that we've continuously been taxed.
Take seriously, or they were just brought in by devil to come and make us suffer.
Kogi state government has lamented that youth take weapons and food to bandits.
Nigeria's investors who are in the diaspora are complaining. You are asking investors who are not in Nigeria to come and invest. Are you kidding me?
Stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
October 1, 1960, Nigeria raises the green, white, green and takes its place among the nations of the world.
Lagos Racecourse is the scene, and it's the afternoon of Nigeria's great day, with thousands awaiting the climax and resolved to relish every minute leading up to it. Princess Alexandra, with Sir James Robertson, the retiring Governor-General, must have enjoyed the whole jubilant atmosphere of the occasion. A first-class show was put on for the benefit of spectators.
We began as a federation of regions led by Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa and Governor-General Nnamdi Azikiwe. In 1963, we became a republic, free at last from colonial ties. But our young democracy was fragile. By 1966, coups and counter-coups had ended the First Republic. Then came the Civil War from 1967 to 1970, a painful chapter that claimed millions of lives but kept the country one. The following decades were marked by long stretches of military rule, brief civilian experiments, and the oil boom of the 1970s, wealth that brought both growth and corruption. Then came June 12, 1993, Nigeria's freest, supposedly freest election. Chief MKO Abiola's victory was annulled, sparking protest, a long fight for democracy. Abiola paid with his life, but June 12 became a symbol of the people's will. In 1999, civilian rule finally returned. Since then, power has changed hands through elections, from Obasanjo to Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari, and now Tinubu.
Police don't come snatch our ballot box.
Not every poll has been perfect, but the ballot, not the bullet, now decides leadership. 65 years on, Nigeria remains Africa's most populous nation and one of its largest economies. Our music, film, and literature lead the continent, yet our people still grapple with inflation, insecurity, unemployment, and corruption. And still, our diversity is our strength. Over 250 ethnic groups, one flag, one destiny. In 2024, we restored our original anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, a reminder of where we began and who we are meant to be. On this Independence Day, let us choose unity over division, peace over violence, dialogue over hate. Let us shun ethnic bigotry and embrace the promise of our federation. Let us work together to defeat insecurity and build a country where every vote counts, every citizen is safe, and every child can dream. Independence was only the beginning, but the next chapter is ours to write. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. One nation bound in freedom, peace, and progress.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Roundtable Independence Day special coming to you live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itami Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. I'm Mariana Cone. I'm being flanked by my colleague Ike Chiku, who has refused to come and sit next to me. I don't know why he doesn't want to receive blessings from me. Anyway, I'm also going to be joined virtually by some very remarkable guests who will help us to analyze the situation that Nigeria has and is facing right now, especially the issue of accountability, good governance, and electoral reform. Don't forget, on the floor of the National Assembly, as we speak, they are deliberating on certain bills that have passed second reading as a part of the constitutional amendment. And most importantly, the push is for some of these amendments to be for electoral reforms to be front and center in the amendments. Okay, let me introduce some of my guests. I'm still yet to have them join me via Zoom. Okay. My Zoom is not on. I'm still waiting for them to join me via Zoom. Once that is done, we will get them to talk. In the meantime, let me introduce my guest. My guest is Mrs. NLB. For those of you who do not know, she used to head Situation Room, one of the electoral reforms advocates. When she joins us, we'll be hearing from her. Majid Daru is our in-house political analyst and one of the judges on I Beg to Differ. We also are going to be joined by Professor Chris Nwokobia. He is, we call him Professor Nwokobia for short. He's going to be joining us, but Ikechukwu is here with me in the studio soon. We will start, but Ikechukwu, let's start by, when people, I know that in Nigeria we've normalized greetings like Happy New Month, Happy Independence, Happy. Do we really mean it, or do we understand what it means to say Happy Independence? For example, there are a lot of people who would criticize the 4th of July for the United States. There's so much controversy around the 4th of July, but when they celebrate it, they actually know that they have some level of freedom. The US is called the land of the free. But what exactly do we celebrate when we are celebrating independence? What do you think?
Once again, thank you for having me. So, when it comes to a reason to celebrate, in principle, it's not actually out of place to say Happy Independence. But now, when you take it on a level of country specific, your question now comes right to say, what do we have as Nigerians to celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
And to have come this far in terms of being 65 years old, a 65 years old independent nation, you want to ask yourself, really, like 65 years, and we're still asking questions. This same question, we asked it last year, 2024.
Every year.
2023, and, it dates back as far as your memory can take you. So you ask, what exactly are we celebrating? And I can assure you, we're still going to ask this question in 2026. So it's just a form of. So I put the theory in my head in this analysis right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a form that is born out of a system that was actually ab initio designed not to actually make sense, work in that sense. Yes.
Do you think that the formers of the entity Nigeria planned for it not to work, to succeed? It was planned. They planned it to not. I'm trying to understand that.
Yes. So if you go back to the documentary, good work, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you
love
so
that.
much. Thank you.
If we go back to that documentary, you see the introduction takes us to a place where Nigeria got free, supposedly from the colonial master. And the idea of that, the reality and the real sense of that is you get free and you do your things your way, by yourself, for yourself.
Yeah.
So if we juxtapose that and fast forward it into the place where we now say we have our own constitution, who and who sat to decide what will be in that constitution? Because if you come to 2014 and you say Jonathan called a confab, you could tell who and who were there in that confab. Although the document might not be effective today because most presidents presidents since then have refused to use it, like in the real sense of using it. But in the constitution as it is, 1999, although amended, who and who sat? Can we point one person that sat and say I was there when that constitution was decided?
We're still working with the military document.
Thank you.
The framers of that document were military men.
So
of course, the interest that was there was vested interest for just the military rulers, not necessarily. So I always ask the question: the people there in that place, who are the we?
Who are the we? Even the First Republic, the one according to your documentary that started with the Tafawa Balewa, the Nnamdi Azikiwe and all. Did we start with our own constitution? Did we decide our own thing? Because
more news and
let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
We'll be back in a moment. Say hello, Lagos. Hello, Port Harcourt. Hello, Abuja. This is Kids FM, the family fun radio. Kids FM is packed with exciting drama, engaging games, inspiring stories, great music, and the kind of conversations that bring families even closer. From sunrise to sunset, we've got something special for everyone in the family. Kids FM is fun for children, cool for teens, and just perfect for parents. It's more than radio.
It's packed with educational content such as language shows, quizzes, storytelling, fun fact, and many more.
It's a family experience you can count on every single day. So, wherever you are, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, or anywhere around the world, you can tune in live on 101.7 Kids FM or stream online at kidsfm.ng. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at kids.fm.ng for all the fun updates, giveaways, and behind-the-scene moments. Kids FM, let's play!
This October 1st, Nigeria marks another year of independence. But the big question is, how far have we really come? From the first flag hoisted in 1960 to the challenges of today, how has Nigeria fared since independence? Have we truly managed our democratic progress? Or are we still finding our way? Join all your favorite hosts on Nigeria Info FM together at one table with special guest analysts for a no-holds-barred conversation on the Roundtable. Independence Day special. Date Wednesday, October 1st. Time 9 a.m. Don't just celebrate. Join the conversation that defines our nation. The Roundtable on Nigeria Info FM. Lagos, let's talk.
Your voice, your station, your conversation.
Nigeria's GDP growth is not 4.2%, right? It's a lie.
What's on ground to show for it?
Computer Village traders in Ikeja are skeptical about the state government's plan to remove them.
The government, on one side, they present things to be good, but on the other side, there's an hidden agenda behind it.
No visa for corrupt Nigerian official, says U.S. mission.
IBAS rejects Assembly's move to probe 6 months spending.
The INEC chairperson. So we hear the president nominates a list and who's fit for the job.
It is now. The government have a better chance of winning the election.
The FRC asking that they carry more guns. How will this help the situation?
You're tuned to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. With information comes power.
We give you more power with information.
99.3
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Welcome back. It's Nigeria at 65. It's Independence Day special, Nigeria Info's Roundtable. My name is Mariana Cole, and I still have Ikechukwu with me in the studio, my colleague. Joining us right now is Professor Chris Nwokobia. He's joining us live via Zoom. Mr. Nwokobia, so good to have you join us, and happy Independence Day. You look very Nigerian.
The pleasure is mine to and
Oh my goodness. I don't know if are you using something? Are you using an earpiece or something, because it's distorting your voice?
Can you hear me well?
Maybe it's the network, because you're breaking. It's distorting your voice, sort of.
What can we know?
I don't know. Maybe you could leave the meeting and join again, and hopefully it might be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me join again.
All right, lovely. Thank you very much. Ikechukwu, before we went on that break, you were trying to make a point. I think we also have a second guest who's joined us, Ms. NLB. I'm going to introduce her in a bit once I see her camera on. Ikechukwu.
Okay, so like I started, you can't start something on a wrong footing and expect to head the right direction. I'm talking about the right direction. Yeah, we're 65 years. A lot of things. So this is not to also take lightly the sacrifices, the sweat and blood of our heroes past. A lot of them died fighting for this liberation and us having our own nation that we decide everything by ourselves for ourselves. So that said, you now come to the point where you say, okay, we have done this for 65 years, and it still seems like we're learning. It still seems like we're not even building on an experience or like, okay, I did this yesterday, this was my mistake, or today I'm not going to do that again. So we keep everything we're going to say today, I bet you 95% of it had been said the same day last year, same day 2 years ago. We're just in that circle, and that's where the issue is.
Okay, well, it's disheartening that we have to keep sounding like broken records year in, year out, every time we talk about independence. Well, I also want to warmly welcome Miss NLB. She's former chair of the Situation Room, and she's now the chair of NEAT Initiative. Miss Obi, so good to have you join us. Can you hear us? Miss Obi, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
nice
ma'am.
To join you.
Happy Independence
Thank
Day.
You.
Lovely. I want us to go straight into the conversation because I know that you have very limited time. So I will, go ahead and start our conversation on electoral reforms. We'll build it up from there to the issues of good governance and, of course, accountability. But without elections that are free, fair, and credible, where are we? I guess that's where Nigeria is. But let me start by saying that democracy is a promise and a process. And on Independence Day, we should ask, are our electoral processes delivering representation, or is it just a ritual that we, carry out every 4 years? Since independence, Nigeria's elections have evolved dramatically, but recent contests reveal deep problems around trust and participation. Here are some key facts. I know this is not hard facts today, but voter turnout in 2023 general election was low. Only about 26.7% out of all the registered voters cast their ballots. The lowest since the return of democracy since 1999. Low turnout raises legitimacy questions for winners and the system at large. In terms of reforms, technology, legal changes have been introduced so far. We've had the beavers, we've had the IREV, but analysts say there's mistrust over these same technologies, logistics, and malpractice, which is a central problem if we must discuss electoral reforms. So I'm going to start with you, Ms. Obi, then I'll come to Professor Nwokobia. A turnout of 26.7% in 2023, is that a crisis of citizens? Is that the crisis of INEC? Which actor actually should bear the greatest responsibility? Ms. Obi.
I think it's both, because we are looking at you're looking at issues of the crisis of the trust of the system, because in the past elections that we have had, you have a lot of people either stuffing ballot boxes, snatching ballot boxes, and a whole lot. And so the electoral system in Nigeria has come a long way, and I would say that there is a lot of improvement in terms of trying to tidy up the system. So it's both. It's on both sides, because when you're talking of INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission has been able to, do certain things because of the technology, that advancement that they have inserted into the system. We had with the beavers, you had the card readers, and then you had the beavers, and now the beavers with the beavers, you are able to transform in terms of quick communication with the citizens about what is on the voting, how the calculations are done, and it's more transparency occurred. But that has been in the past, because when we're going from the off-cycle election, when we're going from the states like from Manambra down to Osun, Ekiti, and all of that, before 10 p.m. you have all the results already recorded, and we could see. We will know who is winning or where things are and which states, and people can align with it. But again, when you look at before the 2023 general election, there was a continuous voter, registration. Because of the lack of trust for the system, many young people had given up. And you know that 62% of our population is young people. And so a lot of people had given up hope for a credible election. But there came a time when we were now seeing, from the off-cycle election to what we have had, we started seeing trust in the system. So, and so people were building, so people decided, there was also a volume of the young people that want to see the transition through the electoral system. So the civic, the continuous voter registration became massive. We mobilized the civil society organizations, the government, of course, mobilized for more registration because we had a volume of young people that have not registered. And so that was a move, the push towards the 2023 general election. At the end of the day, the voter registration, what we saw from the presidential election and the General Assembly election, the National Assembly election, brought a lot of things down because the card readers, either the logistics were not aligning, so many things happened during the process. And so the trust that was building up came down because you had to go from the national election, that is the presidential and the
National Assembly.
Presidential and the National Assembly election that came up, and you saw that the National Assembly election was uploaded. And then the presidential assembly was a presidential, election was not, uploaded because people need to believe. I think people need to understand the fact that whoever is winning the election is a Nigerian. From the civil society, we advocate. Many of us are not politicians. And so when we try to advocate, those who are, they just allow a free and credible and transparent environment so that can emerge, leaders can emerge. Because we don't want to go into, go backward, into military rule, which there was a lot of suffering, but when people say there is no alternative, I say,
oh dear, I think that's
whether you are military or you are democracy. And so it's important to look at that. But INEC has a lot of responsibilities. They've been able to develop the system up to where we are now. And what happened at that point was they were supposed to transmit in order to build the system. And I told them, when we're closing into the 2023 general election, I told them, I said, now you are blocking the loopholes for cheating in elections. And so if they cannot go through the natural environment again, because we're seeing something which was strange. Before now, people will come and start giving people money, or they come and watch over who is voting, and then they will bribe. You vote for me, I will pay you. But again, those areas were being blocked. And this was a combination of a lot of things. The security, for example, there was a lot of training for the security after the 2022, Electoral Act. A lot of training for them. I watched places when we're observing elections where either the army or the police will tell everybody to clear away from where those people are about to vote. And not so we have a huge responsibility on the citizenry. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you are an INEC personnel, or you are a citizen, or you're a political party leader, whoever you are, you can still stand upright for Nigeria to make the electoral system a greater part. When you are the polling unit, can we stand upright? What we saw in Ghana recently, there were, those who are in the political, at the polling units were different political parties, but they stood for transparency and accountability. Why can't Nigerians stand for it? And if you go to a comparison with the Western world, if you go to Germany, the Germans are not even using electoral, technology. And one of the questions that one of our colleagues asked, what the chairman of the likewise of INEC, for example, the guy is a card-carrying member of a particular political party, but he's a chairman of the
Electoral Commission.
He's the Electoral Commission, the umpire. He's the one that declares the election. So the question was, how can you be a chair? How can you be a card-carrying member of another political party and you are doing this and you are the one declaring the election? He said, no, it's professional relationship. What he has with the political party has nothing to do with his delivering his responsibility as a German. And then when we asked them about, what about technology? Why are you not using technology? He said, for technology, he said, Germans trust Germans more than the machines. The question is, can I trust you? Can I trust the INEC chairman? Can I trust the EA? Can I trust those at the polling unit? All the youth corpers who are educated and pulled in. Can I trust the political class? And so my question to them and my charge to the national commissioners in the last meetings towards the 2023 general election is, will you be able to stand upright for Nigeria? Because they will come for you.
Okay. All right.
Will you be able? So I want a level where everybody across board can stand upright for Nigeria. So whether you are in INEC, you are a citizen of Nigeria. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Can we use this independence as a reflection for us to recommit ourselves to this great country?
Interesting perspective that you hold there. Let me come to Mr. Mwokobia. She raised a question that I want to raise with you. Most importantly, how many of us are willing to stand up for Nigeria? I mean, we saw a lot of people who were ready to protect their vote in the last election, but the average Nigerian is also a lover of their life. You know, we like to eat our eba. Nobody wants to die. We saw that lady who got her eye, destroyed just because she wanted to cast her vote. And there were several other examples. Yes, there might be a lot of people who want to protect their votes, but the people who are also there to disarm us or to take the ballot boxes or to, influence the elections are also Nigerians. How do we reach out? I'm looking for the right words. How do we appeal to their consciences? Can we also appeal to those people that whatever happens in Nigeria happens to all of us?
Big question, very instructive. But let me say that you can build trust on a working structure. You can build trust on a system that is responsible and responsive to the people. You can build trust where leadership shows the way and shows that Nigeria counts and that Nigeria matters. You can build trust when you have a national philosophy and a national agenda. Without that, it will be difficult for you to actually ask a Nigerian to put his life on the line for responsible and responsive electoral regime. I'm speaking advisedly. There's a new cliche in Nigeria, and everybody says, "Oh, may Nigeria not happen to you?" And that suggests that there's something more like a misnomer about how Nigeria visits or attends to our citizens, and that is grossly the failure of leadership. Now, what must we do as a people and as a nation? There is this cliche. It was one of I think it was Franz Fanon or someone who said that eternal liberty is the price for freedom. Almost always I tell people that Nigeria suffers from leadership diat, but also the lethargy, the apathy, and the failure of followership, because leaders do not drop from the skies. Our family unit must rediscover values and integrity. Our schools must teach values and integrity. Our higher institutions must be built not on sorting and compromise, but on values and integrity. And that's how we can grow leaders in the future who will attend to due process and decorum. But as we address our country 65 years on, you find out that these values are largely distant. These values are largely underplayed and thrown overboard by leadership, and that's the tragedy of our nation. Okay, you ask me, how can we get INEC, for instance, to be responsible to the people? Everybody knows that congruent with credible elections is the integrity of the electoral process all over the world. A flawed electoral process cannot give you true democracy, because it means that the will of the people is almost always shortchanged. Remember what Stalin said, that it is not always the voter that decides anything. It is he who counts the vote that decides everything. And that's the tragedy of our system. In Nigeria, it got worse after the 2023 elections. when the young people who came out with a fervency, a desire, and a determination to write a new story on our collective canvas, on our political space, felt shortchanged, felt like their choice was not recognized. And like NLB noted, at the level of the National Assembly elections, the IREV worked effectively and efficiently. Whereas at the level of the presidential election, it went kaput. And then you ask yourself, what really happened? For all of us, it's just about the witch cried last night and the child dies this morning, and you're left with your conjectures. And that is why some of us still believe that the 2023 elections were massively and letally flawed. Now, that has affected quite a lot of the confidence of our young voters. Don't forget that in 2023, INEC told us that we had close to 92 million registered voters. And even in 1983 elections, 1983, that's over 40 years ago, the 1983 election registered more voter turnout than when we had about 92 million voters. And that's a tragedy. It's not just about the apathy. It's about our electoral process being mortally flawed, because from the figures we had, there actually were more voters in 2023, but INEC refused to allow our votes to count. So that is why everyone is saying that if we must sustain, defend, and deepen democracy, then the credibility of the electoral process must be reworked through an electoral reform. That is why the fervency of and the urgency of now is a call for electoral reforms. Nigerians will not, and I say this with every sense of commitment, Nigerians will largely not come out to vote in 2027 if we do not have far-reaching electoral reforms, because nobody will want to come out and at the end of the day, you're telling them that the IRF did not work. You're telling them that the electronic system is not recognized by the law. You're telling them that you cannot do on-the-spot translation or transmission of results to the IRF, and then you must take it to another center where the figures will be sexed up or doctored. So nobody wants that, So I think that going forward, as we call our country to wake up from this seeming slumber, what is fundamentally important is a rework, a review of our Electoral Act.
And I'm going to come to that review, but Ikechukwu, it's the same question I asked him. Could the reason why we are so removed from the electoral process, and I'm using we here very loosely because there are those who are very committed to the electoral process, and that's why a lot of people picked up their PVCs last year, even though we saw some Ghana must goes of PVCs in gutters and in abandoned areas. Is it that we're very removed from what we call Nigeria and the prosperity of Nigeria and the change in Nigeria? Is it that we pay lip service to it? And I'm talking about even the INEC officials. I'm talking about the police officers. I'm talking about the guys who represent political parties, even the people who are paying for votes. Is there that lack of? Because Ms. Obi made a mention of what the German man said, or the German rather, that look, Germans trust Germans. Do Nigerians trust Nigerians?
So I will answer it this way, with great respect to Prof and Ms. Obi and what they already presented. My take is this: at the center of it all, especially relative to the German scenario, is the fact that patriotism is so far distant from this whole conversation, especially from the key actors.
That's correct.
Now, I don't want to blame the citizens when I talk patriotism, because patriotism drove the increment in numbers of registered voters compared to the last election of 2023. Now, the one before then is 2015.
2015.
Okay, 2015. Now, no, 2019.
Sorry, 2019.
If you look at the voters, there was that drastic increase in terms of that number. But when it comes to the main actors, INEC in this instance, the lawmakers in this instance, you will now see the fact that when I say patriotism is so far from it, you understand. Because the lawmakers, first of all, the ones who even if we want to do a reform now in our electoral process, the lawmakers are key actors in it. They will put the laws in the book and stamp it and eat the gavel before the president signs it. And whatever they do is what the president will sign. So they are key actors. INEC as the umpire is also another key actor, and other stakeholders around that. So if these people, this set of people are not patriotic to the Nigerian cause, then we're just wasting our time.
But of course, INEC opens this to the public. There's a public forum where you come and make your proposals.
Public hearing, kind of.
Public hearings. And I'm guessing that, of course, if we all understand our bit in that, they will not just sit there and put whatever they want in the laws and then pass it.
But if they put it, what can we do? Haven't they done it time with time? And we still don't do.
Are you implying that we're powerless towards our politicians?
We are helpless. We are powerful, but we're helpless. You know when you're powerful, but you're helpless. I don't.
I'm powerful.
The people are supposed to be at the center of this equation, but those same people are so far from the equation. So we are very powerful in principle, but we are helpless in practice because we can't do nothing. That's exactly what it is.
That's very heavy. I don't know. I want to come back to you, Ms. Obi. Do you agree with the idea that we are powerful but helpless? I don't understand. Is that our situation, that our hands have been tied behind our backs and we're forced to take whatever these guys toss in our direction?
I think the situation is, I will not say that we're helpless. We are highly disappointed with the fraud that went on. I would say fraud and flawed election in 2023. But we have to also recognize some of the positives. You can imagine that in some locations, because that is why if citizens stand up and stand with their own responsibilities on the election day, and that's why we are advocating for a single day election, that all elections be conducted in a single day. If we are all able to stand upright, you can imagine that because of the movement of the young people, an Okada rider can become a member of the House of Representatives. There were a few people that you can see from different corners of the country. Even sitting governors were taken off. Them competing to want to be, senators and so on and so forth. And other people defeated them. It meant that in some places, certain things worked. In other places, there was no transparency and accountability, and people outrightly. And then the judiciary was not, also helpful. Because the judiciary should have been the last hope in terms of steps that you take in elections. The INEC is the one that is supposed to declare elections. The Electoral Commission is the one that is supposed to declare elections, not leaving things and say, if you are wounded, then go to court. Then you are making us, you have to be held accountable. We need to hold every officer at their own levels, because in every of these offices, monies were voted for it. Because I remember what happened before the announcement of the 2023 general election, when it was announced after the President Muhammadu Buhari of blessed memory now, before he signed into law the 2022 general, Electoral Act.
Yes.
Before he signed it into law, we were waiting. I remember many of us were on the street. With many civil society organizations were on the street and saying, sign this act so that you allow INEC to declare. And because they did not sign it on time, the election was extended for 1 week. Because we had to go with the times. And so we must recognize the fact that we are all actors at the different stages of the election. And so, coming from the position, the helplessness comes when you hugely mobilize, like, the last speaker mentioned, that people mobilize, and that's where there were more people. You go to Tafawa Balewa Square, during the continuous voter registration, you think as if they're going to play football. People came in many
I'm so sorry, we have to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation, because I'm more interested in how do we handle this power that we're talking about that we have, as opposed to being helpless. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
More talk, news and sports after this. night in boxing history. Chaos in the ring. From the USA to the UK, from Ghana, Tanzania, Morocco, and Nigeria, the Warriors are coming to the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. 10,000 seats, VIP lounges on the arena floor, VVIP experiences like never before.
Electrifying walkout featuring international celebrities and musicians.
This Independence Day, witness power, glory, and pride collide in the ring. Chaos in the ring. October 1st at Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon, Lagos. Tickets available now at onboard.com.
For inquiries, simply call 0708-781-9376. On Instagram is at Balmoral Promotions.
Don't miss history in the making. Chaos in the ring. Brought to you by Balmoral Group Promotions and American Promotions.
Attention, secondary schools in Lagos. Season 9 of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is coming this November. And this time, the battle for secondary schools with ultimate bragging right is officially on. Do you have what it takes to go head-to-head with the brightest young minds in Lagos? Can your school rise to the challenge and claim the crown? Then this is your moment. The I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate is calling your school. Registration opens September 1 and closes September 30. Registration for the I Beg to Differ Season 9 is school-based, only for schools. So gather your team and secure your spot early. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Click on the I Beg to Differ Debates banner on the homepage. Fill out the registration form and hit submit. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Are you finding it difficult listening to your favorite talk radio Nigeria info via the mobile app? Come closer. Let me fix that for you. Now launch the app on your device. Click the 3 lines on the top left corner of the app. Look for settings in the drop-down menu and click on it. Turn on the first option that you see. Make sure you turn on the option that says always use highest quality available audio. Now that you have done that, close the app and relaunch it. Voila! I did it! Oh, sorry, you did it. Now you can enjoy your radio anywhere, anytime. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Marian Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is where the headlines meet the hot takes.
What are the feelings of people knowing that Fubara is set to return as governor of Rivers State?
We have crisis before, we have actions during, and definitely there will be some actions after.
Regulation of food prices, I think that some miracle is supposed to happen, and our magician is the president.
The farmers that you are giving directives to say you want to crash the full price, that not only farmers.
You know, some of these monies that we've continuously been taxed.
Take seriously, or they were just brought in by devil to come and make us suffer.
Kogi state government has lamented that youth take weapons and food to bandits.
Nigeria's investors in the diaspora are complaining. You are asking investors who are not in Nigeria to come and invest. Are you kidding me?
Stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The news. Timely, fresh as it breaks on 99.3 Nigeria.
We'll take a quick break and bring you the news. My guests are still here. It's still the Roundtable 99.3 Nigeria Info.
From more news to more talk and more voices.
I thought to myself, where is the renewed hope?
This president is one of the best that have happened to Nigeria.
APC opposition list expectations for next INEC chair.
Let's reform for the good of Nigeria.
INEC shortlists 14 associations for political party registration.
It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. And now the business news.
On this Independence Day, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Nigeria's worst days are over. In his Independence Day broadcast, the president declared that the painful reforms are paying off, with faster GDP growth, lower inflation, and more stable naira. He added that debts costs are down, foreign reserves are up, and exports are booming. Tinubu insists the worst days are over and promised Nigerians that relief is now on the way. The president has also had a special message for young Nigerians. He says they remain the nation's greatest asset. The president said he rolled out programs targeting students and youth entrepreneurs, including education loans, housing, and resettlement credit. He equally said that he supported the digital economy through a $600 million IDICE fund. In his speech, he said over 500,000 students have already benefited from the Education Loan Fund. Away from that, the Airport Authority of Nigeria has launched a go cashless policy at the Lagos Airport aimed at tripling revenue and improving efficiency. Managing Director Olubumi Kuku, represented by the Director of Public Affairs Henry Agbere, said the phased rollout starts in Lagos, Abuja, before going nationwide. From September 29, cash will be phased out at access gates and car parks and VIP lounges. FAN says the system ensures faster, safer, and more transparent transactions for passengers. Nigeria's Auditor General, Shaka Chira, has warned that resistance to reform, weak internal controls, and outdated financial systems still hinder accountability in public office management. Speaking on Independence Day, Chira said despite progress in audits and digital tools, many agencies resist scrutiny, enabling leakages. He listed capacity gaps, poor oversight, and weak sanctions as key challenges, but noted gains in transparency, stronger legislative oversight, and collaboration with anti-graft agencies to recover misused funds. I beg your pardon. President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Sidi Ould Tah, says Africa must see global trade disruptions as a chance to transform its economy. Speaking in Abidjan at the CGECI Academy, he urged nations to process raw materials locally, boost green industrialization, and place the private sector at the center. To outline 4-pillar plan, mobilize capital, reform finance, create jobs, and build climate resilience infrastructure. Leaders pledged at that event stronger partnerships to drive Africa's economic sovereignty. And finally, Africa Finance Corporation has secured its biggest debt deal yet, a $1.5 billion syndicated loan to fund infrastructure across Africa. The oversubscribed 3-year facility drew lenders from the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and Europe. AFC says the deal boosts its capacity for industrial growth and shows strong investor confidence. And that's all the news we're tracking on the business front. If you have any news reports you want us to cover, please call 01-465-7175. That's 01-465-7175. I'm Mariana Kon. Thank you for listening. The Roundtable continues. Stay with us.
The news. Timely, fresh as it breaks on 99.3 Nigeria.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Marianne Okon on 99.3 Nigeria.
It's still the Roundtable, and this side of the clock, we're still talking about Nigeria's independence. Most importantly, we're talking electoral reforms. How can we be part of the solution to the problem of electoral reforms? Or, how do we get free, fair, credible elections? When I sit down and scrutinize the processes that we've experienced from 1999 to today, can we really say that we've had anything close to free, fair, nor credible elections? And when we say that, the power lies with the people, do we realize the power that we have? or do we cower at any sight of a little bit of pushback from the politicians? For example, we protest and they say, well, shoot them, arrest them, and then we say, oh well, we're not coming out again, we can't afford. I beg, let's stay at home and eat our gari. Do we actually know how much power we have, or are we just paying lip service to the power, and are we allowing for the politicians to play us and play our minds such that we think that, oh, they have the police, they have the army, what can we really do? The last time we came out, see what they did to us now. Mr. Walker, I'm sure that many people that you've talked to have this mindset. I'm not coming out to vote, I beg. That equals elections. It's not working. Please, I'm not protesting, please, or I don't want to be killed. I beg, leave Nigeria for the politicians. Where does that mindset take us to? And then really, can you blame the average Nigerian for thinking that way? Because they have been beaten, they've been kicked down. And maybe that's where the politician wants us to be. So that way, we, leave everything to fate.
Like I noted in my my opening remarks, leadership and followership must work effectively and efficiently to move a country forward. We cannot expect leaders alone to do it, because after all, leadership comes out of the followership, But very importantly, I understand that for certain reasons, we have a lot of apathy in our country. Whilst attempting to hit the nail at the head, I want to refer to the position my brother Azubike put out. The truth is that in 2019, let's look at this effectively so we can locate this the apathy where properly must be. Now in 2015 first, we had a total number of about 68 million registered voters. In the presidential election, we had 43.6% voter turnout. Then the mantra was about change. The APC then wanted to oust President Jonathan, and the fervency was strong. Nigerians wanted, let's try them and see whether they will do better. We had about 43% voter turnout. In 2019, when it became apparent that those who wield the change mantra were perhaps interested in taking power, but were not prepared to govern effectively with about 82 million registered voters. You see the surge from 63 to 82 million registered voters. The voter turnout was 34.7%, so it dropped a bit. Now, and that is because now the change people have come. How well are they governing? People were beginning to get despondent. They were beginning to get tired, and their faith in the electoral process and the faith in the democratic process was dwindling. Now, in 2023, with the monstrous and massive mobilization of the young people, there was a surge from 82 million registered voters to 93.4 million registered voters. But you know what? The turnout on election day, particularly the presidential election, which even had more turnout than the state government elections, was 26.7%. See how low it was. And that was what I was saying. Now, there's a correlation between the voter turnout and performance of the political class. If you give to the people no reason for which to be excited about leadership, no reason for which to be anxious to support the democratic process, there is this kind of apathy. If I vote, my vote will count. Even if it counts, not be the same people. Do you understand? So there is a challenge on the civil society and indeed the political class, as well as the media, to rise to the urgency of now. What you're doing and the slant of your questions are profound, because indeed the power of the people is mightier and stronger than the power of those in power. Indeed, the people can change the system, but they must be made to realize that by not only the media, but the civil society and indeed the political class. We must all come to the table to say to Nigerians, this country belongs to all of us, and we can change our political story. We can change what happens on our collective socio-political canvas. But that is not without, as it were, insisting on electoral reforms. We must make the people understand that if they have lost faith in the electoral umpire because so happened, now we have a new electoral law that compels electronic transmission of results premium time, that compels the umpire to ensure that what happens at the polling unit is reflected premium time at the other end. We must build faith and hope and trust in the electoral process. Ernest talked about the German cliche about the German people trusting another German more than machines. Well, unfortunately, because our fault lines are deep, so deep, is either we're looking at our politics from ethnocentric biases or socio-political angles or religious angles. So the question is not so much about how patriotic we all are. It's about religious sentiments and tendencies. It's about our ethnocentric biases and prejudices. And so a lot has gone wrong with our system, such that those who emerge as leaders must begin first to build trust, begin first to diminish through effective leadership our fault lines, must begin to ensure that Nigerians again develop trust and confidence, not only in the green, white, green, which will make the seeds of patriotism sprout, but through effective governance, make Nigerians trust Nigeria. And when that is done,
I can't wait to get to my good governance conversation. But go ahead, sir.
When that is done, you find out that there will be a fervency of sorts. Nigerians will begin to say, okay, perhaps we can trust the new electoral regime. Perhaps we can believe that the electoral umpire will act upon the new electoral act. Perhaps things will work better. And so with that relative trust and confidence, the 2027 election might, I pray, attract greater voter turnout.
I like your caveat.
Nigerians may begin to believe in the electoral process. But, you know, hopes and confidence have really gone down, you know. I want to say, remember what happened in Edo. Remember what happened in Kogi. Remember what happened in Ondo. And then remember largely what happened in Imo. How the electoral trajectory was just about the same thing, you know. Those who count the vote, deciding everything, as opposed to those who voted. So I think that the time has come for us to have an electoral act that compels premium time electoral transmission of election results to the server, that effectively allows for the deployment of technology. That way, because Nigerians obviously trust technology more than the tendencies of ethnocentricity and religion.
Okay. Ms. Ena, before I bring back Ikechukwu into the conversation, when it was time for us to pick up our PVCs, there was a lot of advocacy. There was a lot of talk. Literally, that's all we had to talk about on social media, on our media platforms. There was a huge engagement. But then when it comes to these laws, and especially pushing for this electoral reforms as part of the constitutional amendment, we're not having that conversation on a large scale. Yes, kudos to the Patriots for what they're doing. The Patriots are doing an amazing job. But is it enough? I do not see it on a large scale as opposed to what we did before the 2023 elections. Could it also be that the advocates themselves have become wary? Sorry, it's for Miss Obi. It's for Miss Obi.
Okay.
Okay. I think the roll call is for all Nigerians. We are at 65. Someone who is 65 years is not a baby anymore. He's an old man, a very old man. Or let me say, because we have people who are 90 and so on and so forth. He's a matured human being who should be taking decisions boldly with all the experiences that you have had through life. And so the Patriots can do what they can. They are contributing what they can. And I'm really appreciative of an elderly man, someone who has served Nigeria through the ranks, like, His Excellency Emeka Anyoko, who is still standing over 90 years old and is still proclaiming and asking us to get it right. So it's important that we all rededicate ourselves, use the independence as a time for reflection, as a time that you want to be able to examine yourself and look at the steps that you need to take. What is your responsibility as a citizen? You in the media, you are holding this day, you are asking questions, trying to draw our own attention. We also have, the issue of patriotism, which, Azulike has talked about, is patriotism for us when we were growing up. There was nothing, you didn't need to search. You didn't need to search for anyone to think about what is patriotism. When we say we pledge to Nigeria, our country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, we mean it to our hearts. Many times, who is now asking any question? Who is asking question today? How many people are even saying, I pledge to Nigeria, my country? The politicians of the past, when they are swearing them in, they swear them in, with full bloom of say, I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. What that means is that anybody who is not faithful, who is not loyal, is that the person is, is violating whatever we are talking about. Is violating the rules, and can there be sanctions for that? There are no sanctions that are being meted, even in the political class. When they don't fulfill, all of those things are things that we have to take on board. And so, if people are still out and shouting and say, do this right, I think we need to, my own question is, as members of as citizens of Nigeria, you remember civic education is very major. We used to operate through the National Orientation Agency that used to educate people on their on what they feel, what they think you should know. What makes you a citizen? What is your responsibility as a citizen? Have we been able to do it? But I think certain things can change the character on the next election. Right now, what we have in the National Assembly, in the state houses of assembly, you have male parliament. You have half of the population is not represented. And so what we are having, what the constitutional reform that we are talking about as we reflect on our democracy, is that half of the time, the men, or all of the time, the men have been ruling. And what we are saying is that they can't be a part of the process. So where we are today is that, we hope that they can pass the bill, pass the constitutional this thing that is going on, that they are going to be able to pass what is going on now, the reserve seat bill, so that we can welcome 37 women senators which will be contested by the political, under the political parties, to bring them on board as senators, and then 37 women come in as members of the House of Representatives, and then we have 3 women in each state of the Federation contesting for the reserved seat bill at the Houses of Assembly, because currently we have only 4 women in the Senate, which are out of 109. And then you have, in the House of Representatives, we have, 14 out of 360. What we are saying here is that they need to correct the imbalance. For 14 houses of assembly, there is not a single woman. And you have a house committee in each of the houses of assembly. Who is talking about that? Nigeria has one of the worst health indices in terms of, maternal mortality and child mortality. How do we change? When you bring on one person, we're examining the police force yesterday, for example, out of the DIGs, it is 17 is it zones or something like that? You have only one woman out of 17, and you have qualified women who are there. In the 36 plus 1, you have only 3 women that are representing, at the decision-making level. So who is deciding for the women? Who is representing the needs and the feelings? In our own adage, they said, he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. So if they're able to pass the bill, women will be enthusiastic. If not, like my brother there, some of the speakers have pointed out, we are quite disillusioned coming from the 2023 general election. How to even remobilize ourselves now is a very difficult task. How not only to mobilize yourself, to convince yourself that you can go out and stand and say, please believe in the system. We can change through this. Why can't we just listen as a country? That while we are talking to people peacefully, why don't you listen and do the right thing for the people? Civil society organizations are overwhelmed. We are talking to people. We go to look for money. The Nigerian government is not funding any one of us. We try to search for money so we can educate. Most of the education that we have had, you were saying something, or is it one of the speakers that was saying something about not trusting anymore? When we were in Anambra, after Dr. Akunyili, was killed, nobody was going out for election. We were heading for the election, and we didn't know where to go, how to pull out of it. People were not coming out. People said they were not coming out because the election is not what theirs. But we were frightened because people were saying, what we want will happen. What we want is what will happen. Our candidate will win. But you're not willing to go and vote. It's votes that were counted. And we're so proud of the commissioner. That's the commissioner, Dr. Oji, and who was a rep then, who stood up right for Nigerians, stood up right for INEC, and was able to conduct a very credible election. At the end of the day, things counted. And so the struggle continues. We all have a responsibility. And I say well done to the media.
All right, I'm going to open up the phone lines, but in case you're just joining us, this is, of course, the Nigeria Info Roundtable. This is obviously the third part of today's series, and it's the Independence Day special. I still have joining me NLB. I have Professor Chris Mwokobia. I have Ikechukwu, my colleague, here in the studio. But we're going to go on a quick break. But when we come back from that break, the phone lines are going to be open. People have questions for you, Professor Mwokobia and Miss NLB and Ikechukwu. There are questions. People are just as someone said, there's a lethargy, a high level of lethargy, whether when it comes to governance, whether when it comes to casting our votes, or even trusting the process of governance. There are questions that are being raised. The phone lines are open: 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190. David is here with some information for us. We'll take that information and then go for a quick break.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Airtel will have me let you know that today being the 1st of October, the surprise is here. The veil has been torn and you can now access 20% more data when you buy data from Airtel. This was the surprise we talked to you about 2 days ago. That is what all the hype is about, because Nigeria is 65 years of age. 65 years of freedom, progress, and possibility. Airtel is making this celebration even bigger with something extra. And that extra is 20% extra, 20% more, so you can binge your Netflix and YouTube and all that good stuff. And you can link up more with your family and, express more freedom, more connection, more possibilities to live this Independence Day to the fullest. So here's the deal. Make sure you buy your Airtel bundle today and unlock that sweet 20% extra. And please tell everybody that you know that likes you and you like them, or those that you hate, to tell their friends that it is happening, because freedom feels better when everybody is connected.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
I am Malario, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple: to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stands in my way. Come on.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on. Malaria gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
Unstoppable you, fueling your vitality the whole day through. Embrace each challenge with renewed might. With Supermalt, your performance takes flight.
With 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, one Supermalt multivitamin after breakfast every day keeps you going.
Guess what, Nigeria? The Kellogg Superstar Quiz Show is back with season 4. Get ready to watch young superstars from schools across Nigeria battle it out in the ultimate contest of knowledge, speed, and fun. Catch all the excitement from 12th October on Z World, DSTV channel 166, and GoTV channel 30 every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a thrilling journey of learning, laughter, and superstar moments, and you don't want to miss it.
Superstar Quiz Show. New Lafarge Water Shield Cement now confirm. #1 waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. #1 waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge Water Shield Cement #1. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop. For water wahala, with Lafarge Water Shield Cement, water go collect. If water jam house, or the shit. Lafarge, na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge Water Shield Cement, na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
When you dey share Coke and Fanta today, wetin dey happen?
My guy, you never hear dem say 35cl plastic bottle don drop to 300 naira.
300 naira, no be 350 we dey buy am before?
Yes o, the price don change. Na 300 naira now, meaning say you dey save 50 naira for every bottle. This one na real small price, big refreshment. Oh yeah, my guy, you sef take one bottle.
No lose guard o, grab your favorite 35cl plastic bottle for Coke, Fanta or Sprite for just 300 naira for any store for your side. Promo go end when awoof finish o. Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Hey, Omo! See package! This is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me. I full.
Huh? Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House pack in your hand.
The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Okay,
Let's do some value jet math. Take one dependable airline with a reputation for reliability. Add 2 exciting West African destinations, Accra and Banjul. Multiply by countless cultural experiences and breathtaking views. Divide by the consistent service ValueJet is known for. And what's your answer? The right formula for your next trip.
ValueJet connects you to West Africa with new routes to Accra and Banjul. Whether it's a business trip, bagging a degree, or a dream vacation, ValueJet will take you there. Book your journey on www.flyvaluejet.com.
ValueJet. Wings for everyone.
Guess what, Nigeria? The Kellogg Superstar Quiz Show is back with season 4. Get ready to watch young superstars from schools across Nigeria battle it out in the ultimate contest of knowledge, speed, and fun. Catch all the excitement from 12th October on Z World, DSTV channel 166, and GoTV channel 30 every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a thrilling journey of learning, laughter, and superstar moments, and you don't want to miss it.
Superstar Quiz Show.
New Lafarge Water Shield Cement now confirm. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge Water Shield Cement number 1. Number 1. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge Water Shield Cement, water go collect. If water jam house, Lafarge na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge Water Shield Cement na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Keystone Mega Mini giveaway. Yeah, yeah. Cash is calling, cash is calling. Keep on winning, oh, keep on winning. Win more. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Millions waiting.
From now to December 31st, 2025, you could be one of the 565 lucky winners in the Keystone Mega Milli giveaway. Simply carry out 10 transactions or more on any Keystone Bag channel for weekly cash wins or save 10,000 naira or more for a month to qualify for the mega draw where millionaires are made. No account yet? Download the Key mobile app from your app store and open one today for your share of millions. T's and C's apply. Keystone Bank. We grow together.
Bro, have you heard?
What?
The Fanta and Sprite are now available in 60cl plastic bottles. And it's for the same price. 500 naira.
Omo, bring me 2 bottles. 1 Fanta for me, 1 Sprite for my friend. 60cl plastic bottle, right?
You heard right. Fanta and Sprite are now available in 60cl plastic bottles for the same price of 500 naira. That's 20% more Fanta and Sprite for free. Grab the new 60cl bottle today. Enjoy extra refreshment.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness.
When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, though.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Africa is all connected. With Turkish Airlines FlyFest, fly to Europe, to America, and to Istanbul at special prices. Book your ticket until December 15th for flights between September 15th and December 15th. For details, please visit turkishairlines.com. Turkish Airlines.
Okay, sandwich, fruits, and water. The new 33cl Nestle Pure Life Premium Drinking Water. Handy size for my little ones. No more half-finished bottles coming back home. The new 33cl bottle. Big enough to refresh, small enough to finish. And thanks to our trusted 13-step quality process, every drop is refreshingly safe. Nestle Pure Life Premium Drinking Water. Source of hydration you can trust. Bro, have you heard?
What?
The Fanta and Sprite are now available in 60cl plastic bottles. And it's for the same price. 500 naira.
Omo! Bring me 2 bottles. 1 Fanta for me, 1 Sprite for my friend. 60cl plastic bottle, right?
You heard right. Fanta and Sprite are now available in 60cl plastic bottles for the same price of 500 naira. That's 20% more Fanta and Sprite for free. Grab the new 60cl bottle today. Enjoy extra refreshment.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Keystone Mega Mini giveaway. Yeah, yeah. Cash is calling, keep on winning, oh, keep on winning, win more, ooh, yeah, yeah, millions waiting.
From now to December 31st, 2025, you could be one of the 565 lucky winners in the Keystone Mega Milli giveaway. Simply carry out 10 transactions or more on any Keystone Bank channel for weekly cash wins, or save 10,000 naira or more for a month to qualify for the mega draw where millionaires are made. No account yet? Download the Key mobile app from your app store and open one today for your share of millions. T's and C's apply. Keystone Bank. We grow together.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge water shield cement number 1. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, or the shit. Lafarge, na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge water shield cement na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
As we mark another client service week, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, and Ariwa Radio want to thank and appreciate our reputable clients for your continuous patronage to our brands. Coca-Cola, Netflix, Nestle PLC, Tolerap, MTN, Airtel, Jameson's, Dambik IBTC, Nigerian Breweries, from Masada, Floor Mills of Nigeria, International Breweries, Friesland Campina, Guinness, Terra Group, South African Tourism, Van Yogo, House on the Rock, Reliance HMO, Samsung, Oando, Amatem, Indrive, Total Energies, Bolt, Mamador, LG, Big Bull, Salonpass, PNG, UAC, Dabur India Limited, Cadbury, Palmpay, Nivea, Jumia, BetKing, Emirate Airline, Moneypoint, Mocha Foam, Sterling Bank, Devon King, and many more. We assure you that our outstanding and timely service delivery will always be our priority as we offer more to serve you better.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number 1 waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement na confirm. One time. Put full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, or the shade, Lafarge na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge water shield cement na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
It's my dollar day. Hallelujah, it's my dollar day. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanies.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
This one where you dey share Coke and Fanta today. What's it happen? My guy, you never hear them say 35cl plastic bottle don't drop to 300 naira. 300 naira. No be 350 we dey buy am before. Yes, so the price don't change. Now 300 naira now. Meaning say you dey save 50 naira for every bottle. This one na real small price, big refreshment. Oh yeah, my guy, you said take one bottle.
No lose guard, oh. Grab your favorite 35cl plastic bottle for Coke, Fanta or Sprite for just 300 naira for any store for your side. Promo go end when our will finish. Oh, Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Africa is all connected. With Turkish Airlines FlyFest, fly to Europe, to America, and to Istanbul at special prices. Book your ticket until December 15th for flights between September 15th and December 15th. For details, please visit turkishairlines.com. Turkish Airlines.
Omo, you dey find where you fit bet sharply and cash out anytime.
iLotBet dey here. Come iLotBet. Football.
E dey.
Withdrawal.
Na sharp sharp.
Odds with the boss brain. 100 million casino jackpot.
You choke.
Omo, your life fit change with iLotBet. Bonus boku when you sign up. And iLotBet iBot AI dey to help you for predictions matter 247.
No dollar.
Sharply download the iLotBet app now or visit www.ilotbet.com. If you snooze, you lose. I play, I win. iLotBet. For 18 years and above, play responsibly.
Update. Yes, so Boku Store don't add bunker products to their shelf. High quality for low prices. From Sachet Go Vita chocolate drink for 150 naira to Chula tomato paste for 140 naira to Platis dishwash for 1,900 naira for only inside Boku. All of them don't they available.
Oh yeah, shop Boku for prices way cheap past market and high quality for low prices. Boku not far from you.
Iboku abi no Boku.
Guess what? Nigeria, the Kellogg Superstar Quiz Show is back with season 4. Get ready to watch young superstars from schools across Nigeria battle it out in the ultimate contest of knowledge, speed, and fun. Catch all the excitement from 12th October on Z-World, DSTV channel 166, and GoTV channel 30 every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a thrilling journey of learning, laughter, and superstar moments, and you don't want to miss it.
Hey, Omo, see package. This is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me.
Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House pack in your hand.
The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter full house pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Attention secondary schools in Lagos. It's back, bigger and bolder than ever. It's season 9 of the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Tournament. This November, the battle for the ultimate bragging rights begins. Do you have what it takes to face the brightest young minds in Lagos? Can your school rise, debate, and claim the crown? If so, listen up. This is your chance. Registration is currently ongoing and it will close on September 30th. Don't miss it. And remember, registration is school-based. So gather your team and secure your spot. So don't forget, registration closes September 30th for the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Tournament happening this November. So if you think you have the brains and the power of persuasion, make your school proud and join. Here's how to register. Step 1, visit nigeriainfo.fm. Step 2, click on the I Beg to Differ banner. Step 3, fill in the form and boom, you're in. Let's repeat the steps one more time. Step 1, go to nigeriainfo.fm. Step 2, click on the I Beg to Differ banner. Step 3, fill in the form and boom, you're in. You got it? Good. This is not just a debate. It's the Tournament of Champions. I Beg to Differ. The Tournament of Champions. See you there.
Your voice, your station, your conversation.
Nigeria's GDP growth is not 4.2%, right? It's a lie.
What's on ground to show for it?
Computer Village traders in Ikeja are skeptical about the state government's plan to remove them.
The government, on one side, they present things to be good, but on the other side, there's an hidden agenda behind it.
No visa for corrupt Nigerian official, says U.S. mission.
IBAS rejects Assembly's move to probe 6-month spending.
The INEC chairperson. So we hear the president nominates a list and who's fit for the job.
It is now. The equivalent have a better chance of winning the election.
The FRC asking that they carry more guns. How will this help the situation?
You're tuned to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Hard Facts.
99.3 Nigeria Info. This is, of course, the Nigeria Info FM Roundtable. My guests have been so gracious to stay with us while we went on that break. But we are back, Lagos, and we're opening up the phone lines. We've been talking electoral reforms. We're going to slide into good governance and accountability. We'll merge all of it together and talk about it because it's part of our conversation. But we started with electoral reforms because it's very important and paramount if we must have good governance, which will lead to accountability. Most importantly, we are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Ikechukwu, NLB, Professor Mwokobia is, I almost said Mwokocha. Mwokobia is here with us and they're ready to take your calls, your comments, and your questions. So let's go straight to the point. 60 seconds is all you have. Welcome.
Bluetooth mode.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, AB speaking from Epe.
Go ahead, please, AB.
Electoral reform. See, I want us Nigeria to move away from the Ojoro that they did during the election. Do you understand me? Mm-hmm. Like the other analyst said, okay, the person that won is in Nigeria. So we should move away from that. We should stop saying we were cheated, we were that. Like me, I was not cheated because the president is my own hero. You understand? Mm. Because of the things he's doing now. Mm. The roads, Calabar Road, Sokoto Badagry Road, all the infrastructural strides. True. You understand? So we should talk about moving forward, not looking at the back. Mm. And then concerning the constitution, the American constitution was given by the first president, George Washington. He's a military man. So why we I don't know. There's a way in Nigeria we like to demonize.
What's your name? Where did you get this information from? Because I studied American politics. Where did you get it from?
Benjamin Franklin was there in that room.
All right. I need to let you go. 60 seconds is over so we can take other calls. But it's how you guys come up with these things. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Salawali from Aja.
Go ahead.
I want to appreciate the guests. They've provided a lot of insights. Thank you for what you've shared. But beyond teaching values and integrity in schools, I think we should look at how can these values be modeled by leadership. Because that's an entry leadership. It is easier for people to learn from you, from what you are doing, than what you say. And then secondly, when there is no punishment for bad behavior, especially from INEC officials. You gave the statistics that in 2023, 90-something million registered, only 80-something million collected their PVCs. So already INEC has disenfranchised 10 million people. And then when it now comes to the voting proper, you see thugs. It really grieves my heart when the electorate are the one that takes the brunt.
Okay.
You know, you register. Look at how many people have registered now, and I can tell you, when there is no punishment for bad behavior, how do you encourage the electorate?
All right. Ms. Olawale, I have to let you go because of time. A great question that she asked. I don't know who's going to take on this, Professor or Ms. Obi. Who's going to take on this? Try to answer the question. If there is no punishment, and no one's doing time for the crime, is there going to be any reason for people to not commit these crimes or continue to destroy the system and erode trust? Professor,
okay,
okay.
I think I can.
Okay.
One is when you go to Olawale's question of us moving beyond the issues of values and integrity. It's very, very important that we have role models. Who are our role models in the Nigerian, political system? Young people need to see role models. Who is your hero? Where are we going? Because when we're growing up, we look at the lives of Nelson Mandela, we look at the lives of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, Sadauna Osokoto, Satafa Balewa, and Malam Aminu Kano, and all of them. We looked at very, very lovely heroes. We look at the lives of women, women like Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, who broke a lot of barriers for women. Margaret Ekpo, who was one of the first, members of the Eastern House of Assembly, and so when you look at all of that, you begin to wonder what is happening at those levels. And so when we are not looking at heroes, then we have issues to look at. Sanctions, for example, we had people who were arrested because of the bad behavior. We had a lot of them that were arrested because of bad behavior. And if they were arrested, was there anything that happened again? Not many people are being punished for some of the behavior that we have. So if we don't have people serving punishment, where do we go from there? So it's very important that, when you are moving, you are able to look at exactly where we're going. So people need to be answerable. We need to hold people accountable. It's not only at the national government, at the local government is the closest governance to the people. Are we engaging at those governments? And do you know who is representing you as a councillor? Do you know who is representing you as a member of House of Assembly? What about those who are representing you in the House of Representatives? What about your senators? The engagement between the citizens and with those they are elected. I think somebody once said, I was not elected. I don't think, what you're talking about. I was not elected by you. So if you are not elected by me, what are you talking about? If you're not elected by me, why are you sitting on the seat? So you need to be answerable.
Yeah.
And I think Olawale was talking about, the Ojoro electoral system is all the issue of trust that we're talking about. If you are defeating, you are cheating, it becomes Ojoro. But if you are working with the people, and if you are honorable, if you are transparent, these are some of the things that we're talking about.
Professor, would you like to chime in quickly before we take over calls?
Let me say very importantly that without monuments of deterrence, without making examples, without punishing wrong, wrong will seem right. And that's where the last caller was scored the bull's eye. We must ensure that the provisions of the law that calls for punishment for electoral offenses and electoral offenders is activated. We must ensure that those who circumvent the Electoral Act and those who stifle the full effect of the law are called to order. If that is not done, the assumption that the next election I can do whatever I want, I can allow for vote buying, I can allow for falsification of results, I can allow people to doctor election results and they go scot-free, will also deepen the apathy that we've been talking about. So I think that the time has come for us to, my late father would say to me that any society that does not create monuments of deterrence and monuments of reference would go under. You need to be able to say, Mr. A rigged.
We have to go on a break. I'm so sorry. We have to go on another break.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Okay, let's do some value jet math. Take one dependable airline with a reputation for reliability. Add two exciting West African destinations, Accra and Banjul. Multiply by countless cultural experiences and breathtaking views. Divide by the consistent service ValueJet is known for. And what's your answer? The right formula for your next trip.
ValueJet connects you to West Africa with new routes to Accra and Banjul. Whether it's a business trip, bagging a degree, or a dream vacation, ValueJet will take you there. Book your journey on www.flyvaluejet.com.
ValueJet. Wings for everyone.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's my game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
As we mark another client service week, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, and Ariwa Radio want to thank and appreciate our reputable clients for your continuous patronage to our brands.
Merit 24/7 Media, Havas Communication, Gitan Communication, Masscom Media, Primus and Advertor, QVT Media, TWA Concepts, Asher Tribe Media, Fail Blanche, Momentum Media, DCO Concepts, SBM Communications, Dynamic Minds Consult, Rich and Gift, Peacock Media, Scout Media, Brand Eye, Fuel Communication, Noah's Ark, SBI Media, Adrian Homes and Properties, Intercity Media, Base One Consulting, All Nets Media, New Page Consulting, Weatherhead Advertising, Co-Creators Hub, Simply Black, Gate Media, Lens Africa, PenEdge Media, Renko Multi Solution, Ornico Media, Alexia Media Solution, Max Edge Marketing, and many more.
We assure you that our outstanding and timely service delivery will always be our priority as we offer more to serve you better.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
It's my dollar day. Hallelujah, it's my dollar day. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA, completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanies.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
Ever wonder why Mamado oil makes some meals just unforgettable?
That stew you made last week. I have been thinking about it every day.
Or why your taste buds can't forget Victoria's crunchy chicken.
Bestie, please tell me you made fried chicken today.
Or even why your children always want to play in Auntie Kemi's house.
Mommy, can we go to Auntie Kemi's house?
When it comes to delicious tasting meals, it's Mamador. Mamador oil is available in stores near you and also available in pocket-friendly sizes. Use Mamador oil today.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo. From more news to more talk and more voices.
I thought to myself, where is the renewed hope?
This president is one of the best that have happened to Nigeria.
APC opposition list expectations for next INEC chair.
Let's reform for the good of Nigeria.
INEC shortlists 14 associations for political party registration.
This is the first time you see that legislature is defending the executive.
Negotiating with terrorists, and they're telling us what they want.
I don't know how else to describe it. Nigeria is not normal. I want Nigerians to be prepared. The 2027 election is going to be an election that has been different from any other election we've experienced in Nigeria.
The conversation starts here. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is where the headlines meet the hot takes.
What are the feelings of people knowing that Fubara is set to return as governor of River State?
We have crisis before, we have actions during, and definitely there will be some actions after.
Regulation of food prices, I think that some miracle is supposed to happen, and our magician is the president.
The farmers that you are giving directives to say you want to crash the full price, they are not only farmers.
You know, some of these monies that we've continuously been taxed.
Take seriously, or they were just brought in by devil to come and make us suffer.
Kogi state government has lamented that youth take weapons and food to bandits.
Nigeria's investors who are in the diaspora are complaining. You are asking investors who are not in Nigeria to come and invest. Are you kidding me?
Stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's the conversations that we have off air that are more intriguing. I still have Professor Christian Wakobia here with us. Ike Chiku also in the studio. But first, David has some information for us. Quickly, once he does that, we're going to go back to the phone lines. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We're going to tilt this conversation in a different direction in a few minutes. We've been talking electoral reforms, but soon we're going to talk about good governance, which is almost something that we have been thirsty for almost, what am I saying? How many years is our democracy, our nascent democracy? And yet we're unable to say that we have had good governance so far. David.
University Fair, ladies and gentlemen. This is an announcement for those who are seeking education abroad that QS Apply Education Fair is happening today. Yes, Wednesday, October the 1st, 2025 at the Lagos Continental Hotel, Victoria Island. As we speak, you go there, you meet top universities from the United States, Europe, UAE, Canada, and Australia. Learn to apply for instant admission, scholarships, tuition discounts, student loans. You get your visa inquiries done, and of course, post-study work opportunities. You get to ask about those. Now, to register, send Lagos to 090-2531-3927. That is 090-2531-3927. Or you could go and register in person. It's happening right now as we speak at the Lagos Continental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. The event is absolutely free, so you have no excuse to say you didn't attend. QS Apply is your gate to study abroad.
Call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. 60 seconds is all you have. If you're just joining us, it's still the Nigeria Info Roundtable. 65 years of our independence. What can we boast of? Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your sir? You are not supposed to call the female line. Sorry, you're out of the game. Hello, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Charles. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Charles, go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I will only focus on the positive of 2023 elections because I can see some positive in 2023, and I hope by focusing on positive, maybe we can increase participation in future elections. For the first time, I saw some governors, sitting governors, losing election to the Senate. That seems to be their retirement house, but they lost it. Some unknown politicians, for the first time, contested election. They beat the established politicians. So there's some positive that we can look at in 2023. Maybe by looking at those positive, more people will be able to participate. I'm not saying the election is not faulted, it's not having its own challenges, so many, terrible ones. But I want to say we are making some progress, and that should be our focus. Then I look at this 2020 election, and I relate it to 1979 election, when we had three major candidates contesting from the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. Compare the two elections, you will see some similarities.
All right.
1979 and 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles, for calling. 0201-277-0993. Hello.
Yeah, Miriam, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Jonathan is my name.
Jonathan, go ahead.
Now, Miriam, I still have problem with the situation whereby 10% of us will be deciding who becomes a president or become a governor. And how? On that election day, you notice that registered voters will be 1,000. People that came out to vote, people that even came to court is 20. Then 10 will vote. What happened to the rest 80? That was what your guest, if you remember your guest that you brought, that foreign man that you brought that day, he said they went to beach. That is a problem as far as I'm concerned. And I want us to fix it. Because the whole 80% of people that don't come out to vote, they can decide too. And they have a part to play. So people are talking of reforms. This is a key part of this reform that we must look at. Alongside every party having agents in all the polling units. Your guest was answering me the other day that where they are strong good. I'm not talking of strong good though. Because that is the problem they will come and let us be talking about. When they go to court, they will not have evidence to put on the ground. They must have their candidates in every polling unit of this country. You want to be a party. Enjoy your day. I do a great job.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. I want to take a few more calls and then we'll move on to our next conversation. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Emilian.
Yes.
The man I'm speaking to you from Ekwe.
Go ahead.
Nigeria at 65. We are not where we are supposed to be, because some of the countries, it was alleged that our parents were mocking there, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, even India, they are far, far, far ahead of us. And when it comes to election, and the electoral issues, the thing is we don't have patriotic people who should be heading INEC and who are resilient, because there is a difference between when you are patriotic, and then when the pressure comes, you are able to stand. Like that woman, I think in Abia, who was pressured, but still stood her ground, in announcing the person who really won the election. And sometimes it's not really about technology or machines, because I've been on this side arguing with people, that having the IRF recognized, by law, is not really because if you watch the Edo election, some of the things, the allegation is that some people tampered with those results, even in IRF, that we are not really results from the polling booths. So what we really need are patriotic people, who.
Where are we gonna find them? Where do we find these so-called patriotic people? Where are we gonna find them? In Costco, Walmart, where?
They are few. They are in this country, but they are few. But the thing is, the system would throw them up, because those who are supposed to throw them up, want to benefit from the fraud.
Okay.
They are the executive.
Okay.
By the legislature, So, some people will argue that you can't bring in somebody who is going to truncate your term in office. So that is where we are today.
Okay.
Good evening to you.
Thank you very much for calling. Mr. Walker, would you like to quickly respond and then we'll move on to our next conversation? I think you're muted.
Yeah, listening to the last four callers or so, one thing I must say is that there is a willingness to give in the nation, our country, a chance. People believe that we should allow Nigeria evolve. Much as I agree that we should allow Nigeria evolve and sound very optimistic, there is something we must not look away from, which is the call for responsible and responsive leadership. You cannot say that you have a democracy when the freeness and the fairness of our electoral process is in doubt. Congruent with, the schoolboy's definition of democracy, it's posited by Abraham Lincoln. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So it suggests that whoever should govern should and must truly have the support of the majority. Now, if you look at what has happened since 1999, let's follow our Fourth Republic, you find out that the electoral process has been flawed progressively. For me, my choice of word, We thought that in Morrissey Wood's flawed election of 2007, that we had seen the worst. But very unfortunately, rather than improve on that, we have done poorly. And what breaks my heart, what bothers the carapace of my mind, is the fact that in 2023, when we had, like I noted, about 92 million registered voters, we had only about 27% of voter turnout. And that is simply because our people seem to have lost faith in the electoral process. Our people seem to have lost faith in leadership in the democratic space. And what we must do to build patriotism, because I keep hearing people talk about why Nigerians should be patriotic, why Nigerians should step out. What we must do is the media, I will repeat, the media, the civil society, the political class must make it a point of duty, not only to challenge themselves to greater action, but to challenge leadership to become responsible and responsive to the people. When leaders think about the people, when leaders put country first, when leaders govern well, you find out that the people will in actuality understand that the power of the people is greater than the power of those in power. And so they will step out not only to collect their PVCs, but to change bad leadership when they conceive leadership as bad, and to support leadership when they conceive leadership as progressive. That's what we must do. It's beyond applauding a part of the election and disparaging another part. A free and fair election must appear so. There's no need to cherry pick. If you remember what happened in 1993, the June 12th election, Nigerians hailed that election indiscriminate of ethnicity, indiscriminate of religion, indiscriminate of socio-political tendencies. We agreed that that election was free and fair.
But was it?
And Nigerians are looking for another regime of credible elections where our Yoruba-ness, our Igbo-ness, our Hausa-ness will not count, where religion will not determine the score we put on the election, but freeness and fairness and the credibility of the process.
All right. If you're just watching us, we are, of course, observing Independence Day. It is Nigeria Info's Roundtable, and this is the third part of it in today's series. We've been talking electoral reforms. Let's talk good governance, and I'm going to start with Siwi Kechiku. On this Independence Day, we celebrate nationhood, but we must also measure the promises of 1960 against the reality of today. I mean, good governance isn't just a slogan. It's institutions that deliver security, services, and fairness. So how well do we as Nigerians, how do we weigh our institutions? Are those institutions stronger than our politicians? Are these institutions doing their jobs, as opposed to us having to tell them that You're not doing your job. You're anyway. Let me give us a quick historical background. When Nigeria became independent on October 1, 1960, there was a formal transfer of power, which we all know, which included the lowering of the Union Jack and raising of the green, white, green flag, and an inaugural address by Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. These are some of the things that, he mentioned. He talked about the fact that, every time I listen to that speech, I think I hear the same speech every other year, just from different people, tweaked in a different way.
Name change.
And we're still talking about the same problems that they will address. We will. And this is 2025. Here are a few key factors that we must take into consideration. Transparency International's latest CPI gives Nigeria a score around the mid-20s. Nigeria is number 26 in the CPI of 2024, signaling widespread perceptions of public sector corruption. The World Bank governance indicators show persistent weakness across voice and accountability, control of corruption, and government effectiveness. These are dimensions that we must test today. Let's talk inflation and economic stress. These are things that make government outcomes more visible and urgent. Economy policy choices that are supposed to shape whether citizens feel safe, whether they feel that the state is protecting them. These are questions that I ask every day. Do you feel that the government prioritizes adds any value to the human life of a Nigerian? How valuable is a Nigerian human life? So, Ikechukwu, if governance is about rules that work for citizens, in the last 5 years, that measurably improved the ordinary Nigerians' lives with numbers, can we measure the average Nigerian's life with numbers? For example, if we say that we've had good governance under Buhari, how has it shaped our life in terms of I want to use statistics in terms of life expectations? The Nigerian person is about, I think we can live the most to 50 or 60, thereabout.
Not even up to 50. I don't think it's up to 50.
Okay. In terms of protection of human lives, every day we are recording, you're a news guy, recording the number of dead people, whether it's in the north, in the middle belt, even down south here. In terms of the economy, you and I, we were just talking about when we receive our salaries, we don't know where it goes because, the cost of living has hit. Has there really been any record of good governance since 1999?
So I will even take it beyond 1999. But I would love to. But by your question, let me just leave it at 1999. I would say from then till now, it's gone weaker, it's gone poorer, and the strength of the average Nigerian person in terms of your social security strength, economic strength, political strength, and all that. For the average Nigerian, I'm not talking about the ruling class.
Yeah,
it's gone weaker in that regard, and to me, it's purely because nobody is accountable anymore. You are in position. You can do whatever you want. Impunity is the order of the day. You come out of it. Nobody holds you accountable to what you did.
Well, EFCC will tell you that they are doing their best.
Yes. So it's a space where anybody comes in, do whatever you want, and move. So that impacts on the life of the average citizenry that is expecting good governance. So they say, like Prof earlier hinted on the definition of the school level definition of democracy, which puts the people at the center of it.
We're supposed to be priority.
And at the center of that, the people, it seems like the Nigerian context or the African context of democracy goes into the center of it, takes the people away, throws the people to one side, and then do whatever is left with whatever stakeholder is remaining in the equation. That's what has happened to the Nigerian people from 1999 till date.
It's scary, Professor Walkobia, because the last time I checked, the government keeps telling me something Mr. President spoke yesterday in Owerri and made certain, statements that a lot of people have been questioning on social media. The government tells you one thing, but then in action, you see a totally different thing. what do we do with this situation that we found ourselves in? Because every day we're saying we want good governance, and then the government is saying, what are you saying? We give you good governance. You have light, you have good education, your healthcare system is great. What are you talking about?
Let me say this. Very importantly, I listened to my brother Kechku there, and it's called the bull's eye win, but he was a bit more pragmatic than I would naturally be. Let me say that we live in a nation where falsehood has been elevated to an act of state, where rather than sticking to the truth as obviously before all of us, we embellish facts, we sex up statistics and figures, and very tragically, what government is saying almost always is different from what you actually see. I listened to our dear president's speech today, and he struggled to make us believe that things are getting better. But even in his speech, he admitted that the highest our GDP has grown is what it was in 2019, which means that we haven't recovered in any way. If you look at it, Jonathan left us a far better GDP. So where is the good governance and where is the progress, as it were? Now, I think that this government should do, what it should do is fold its sleeves, lace up its bootstraps, and get to work. Talk less, work more. And Nigerians will see it and applaud government if it's doing right. And look at this situation. About 2 months ago, when he was receiving members of his party, he told us the government has gotten almost all, it's more than its anticipated revenue projections in the month of August. And then the very next day, went to the National Assembly to ask for a loan of $2.7 billion. And then you ask yourself, on the one hand, is government becoming schizophrenic? Is government becoming, you ask yourself, where are we really headed? So I think that what we need, because we all, from what I've heard across political discussions today, we all want Nigeria to work. We want this 65-year-old infant to rise up to the reality. We want Nigeria to understand that a highly progressive world believes that we can do better. And so what must leadership do? Stop listening to sycophants and court jesters. Listen to critical thought and critical views. I have said time and again, and I want to repeat it here, that the beautiful truth in a nation, any nation that succeeds, that the best truth in that nation is that called critical opposition. The best boulevard in any nation that is successful is called divergent thought. When Nigerians consistently sing on your mandate we shall stand, and it means so much meaning to the president, then he's in trouble. Because the mandate that is presently in control is largely soiled with blood. What blood? The blood of our brothers and sisters in the Middle Belt. The blood of our brothers and sisters in the Northeast. The blood of our brothers and sisters across this nation. And the blood of our dear sister that passed on a few days ago, Somto Chukwu. When leadership consistently fails the people, that mandate is soiled with blood. And so what we must do if we truly love our dear president, and I keep telling people, those who try to gaslight people, I tell them, you don't love Tinubu. If you love Tinubu, you will critically assess his government and make him sit up. That's a tragedy of our nation. So I think that what we must begin to do as a people, if we truly love our country and if we want to put country first, is to begin to dispassionately assess leadership. It doesn't matter to me whether Mr. President is Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa, and it shouldn't matter.
Okay.
It shouldn't matter to us whether he's Christian or Muslim. It shouldn't matter. What should matter is a call for competency, capacity, and commitment to the common good.
All right. I want to go on a quick break. There's so many breaks today. When I come back, Ikechukwu and Prof, could it be also that our politicians have continuously kept us where we are because they'd rather that, because they go to all these places across the world and see things and say things that make them look good, but then when they come home, they choose to pay a blind eye or pay a deaf ear to some of the things that we're asking for. So could it be that this is deliberate because the money keeps going around in the same circles? When we come back, I'd like to get your analysis on that. It's still 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Mariana Kon, Chris Wakobia, Ikechukwu here with me in the studio. It's still our roundtable. We'll be right back after this very short break.
More conversation. More talk. More. Right after this.
Yeah.
Little body.
Don't forget.
Big moves. Little brain. Big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
It's my dollar day. Hallelujah, it's my dollar day. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA, completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanies.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
Oh, the only detergent that keeps me bright and fresh. I know they waste time to wash. I thought my clothes have the best, so why go less? You can't wash a lot with a little Viva. Use Viva. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Use Viva. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever.
Viva Detergent, a quality cleaning powder from Aspira.
New Lafarge Water Shield Cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge Water Shield Cement number one. Number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge Water Shield Cement, water go collect. If water jam house, Lafarge, na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge Water Shield Cement, na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Hey, Omo, see package. This is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me. I full.
Huh? Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House Pack in your hand.
The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House Pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
In In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. It go rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easy we observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Niger. Yeah. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Niger. Hey. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. Number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, or the shit, Lafarge, na confirm. Cement, new Lafarge water shield cement, na confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Niger, brace yourself. BB Niger Season 10 is here. And this time, there are no zeros, only 10s. 10 times the drama, 10 times the grass goes, 10 times the action. And Super Commando is turning the hit to the max with nothing but energy. That means 10 times the energy.
Ready to fire on this BB Niger season? Grab a bottle of Super Commando energy drink. It's nothing but energy. Super Commando, fire on.
Your voice, your station, your conversation.
Nigeria's GDP growth is not 4.2%, right? It's a lie.
What is on ground to show for it?
Computer Village traders in Ikeja are skeptical about the state government's plan to remove them.
The government, on one side, they present things to be good, but on the other side, there's an hidden agenda behind it.
No visa for corrupt Nigerian official, says U.S. mission.
IBAS rejects Assembly's move to probe 6 months spending.
The INEC chairperson. So we hear the president nominates a list and who's fit for the job.
It is now. The incumbent have a better chance of winning the election.
The FRC asking that they carry more guns. How will this help the situation?
You're tuned to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And talk we shall. We have 23 minutes more on the clock, and we're talking accountability and good governance. Is it is it the more you look, the less you see? Is it far-fetched for us as Nigeria? Are we still trying to, tear away the facade of what we think is good governance or what they say is good governance? Have we been able to feel, touch, and experience good governance in this country? And what about accountability? Who's holding who accountable? I mean, there are those who would say, well, the average Nigerian is not accountable. Why would the leaders be accountable? But I asked the question before we went on the break. Christian Wakobe is still with us. Ikechukwu is also with us. I did ask a question. Could it be that the political class have tactfully kept us where we are because that's where they want us to be, and we're unable to mentally, emotionally and physically break from that, position that they've kept us, because there's this mindset that, there's nothing we can do. The institutions seem to be less powerful, and a certain person is so powerful in Abuja, powerful in Rivers, powerful in Bayelsa, powerful across the country, but he's not the president. How do we build these big institutions that can be strong enough to hold even the president to account? Ikechukwu, I was going to ask you that question.
So when you see how things over time have manifested, you will tend to understand when I say it is deliberate to keep the system or the society, this geographical location and the people in it the way they are, to maintain status quo. So it will be easy for the ruling class to continue to harness everything that is therein. And this is what I mean. You cited an example of one man being powerful here, and here. You discover that we have weak institutions, and the institutions get weaker as the day counts. A situation where the executive get to hand over car keys, house keys to members of the judiciary, judges, you just know that it's over. It's nothing anymore, except we deliberately at some point come to the table to say, because okay, look at Nigeria for instance. Do we have a national agenda or goal or value or like a target, national target?
One Nigeria.
Oh, and that's all we have. It seems to be like the only thing we have to keep in this country is one Nigeria. We don't have a 50-year term plan.
How do we even attain that oneness?
It's not even working.
There is no strategy. What is the strategy?
It's not even working. So a country that cannot live and wake up and say, oh, we are competing at this level, we need to compete at this level, our contemporary at this level, they are at this level, we need to catch up with them and this or that. We don't have all of that. The only thing we do is they build road, then the next cycle of election, they campaign again. You are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Hausa, and we move on. And we keep doing this round and round and round. We're not going nowhere. And that is it for me. Because the ruling class, because I also don't like calling them the political class. It's just politics is just the name of the game they use to drive it. Remember, there are also other governance style that does not necessarily involve politics. Although at the bottom of it, there's always this principle of politics in all of it.
Politics so everywhere.
You understand that they just use this vehicle to drive their way through our resources and get it all. One day we'll just wake up and there's nothing more.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping not. Mr. Walker, quickly, because I know you have to run off. How do we achieve good governance and accountability? If you're able to frame that in 3 minutes, we'll be really appreciative. How do we get it? Is it far-fetched? Is it within us? Is it within our grasp? Or is it something that we just have to keep dreaming?
But one of the strongest thing about the human race, about the humanoid, is the ability to get anything it seriously wants done. So I believe that this country can get better. I believe that leadership can become responsible and responsive to the people and to the nation. But the first thing must be about a followership that must rise to the urgency of now. We must refuse to salute leaders from ethnic sentiments and tendencies. We must refuse to side with a looter because he's from my tribe, or side with a bad leader because he shares the same faith, creed, or religion as I do. We must begin to challenge for the soul of our nation and ask leadership to become responsible and responsive. And the way to do that is to have an active mass that would refuse to be cowed. And then Mitt Romney said when he was running for president that leadership must show the way. You know, if you want to have, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
If you want to have good leadership, then fundamentally, those who emerge on the political stage seeking leadership must be able to inspire faith, hope, and confidence. Then one very important thing is that leadership must lead by example. You can't consistently tell the people to tighten their seatbelts when you're busy buying houses and estates everywhere, when you're buying cars that you do not need in 10 lifetimes, stealing monies that you do not need in 10 lifetimes, and buying cars that you do not need. And then, very importantly, we must have members of the National Assembly that rises up to the urgency of now, not rubber stamps, not those who presing leadership. And like Ikechukwu noted, We must have a judiciary that rises up to that image of mother justice, that blindfolded mother justice that does not see sacred elephants or sacred cows, that holds up to the true tenets of justice, not where Nwike and his cohorts, I love to call names because they're supposed to be serving us. Where Nwike and his cohorts will decide to compromise the judiciary. No, we don't need, you can't have good governance that way. You can't have good governance when the minders of the presidency would, rather than tell us truth, they decide to gaslight the people. You inherited an economy that, yes, wasn't doing fantastic, but it got worse under you. And a bag of rice goes for about 70,000 naira now, and you say you have scored a high. When you came to power, it was about 50,000. So I think that the time has come for us to all collectively understand that to make Nigeria work, we must rise above political tendencies. We must rise above partisanship. Because when you go to the market, the seller doesn't ask you whether you're APC, PDP, ADC, or Labour Party.
It's your money that speaks.
He doesn't ask you whether you're Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. It sells for the real value of the naira. And that is why everybody's complaining about hunger today. So if you understand that Nigerians are hungrier and angrier today than they were yesterday, then our collective challenge should be to ask Mr. President to rise to the urgency of now. Okay. And as I wind down, because I have to join another forum, let me say here that I am, like most Nigerians, I'm presently in the U.S. on medical trip. If our hospitals were working, what will I be doing here? And when you go around, you find out that there is primacy of lives here. They care about what happens to the next man. And when you think about leadership, the call for leadership is the protection of lives and properties. And in Nigeria, for those who are singing on the mandate or hailing political parties, you ask yourself, are lives, Nigerian lives, safer today than they were yesterday? Nigeria is a country that has the highest number of internally displaced persons, a country that not in war. We have more internally displaced persons than most countries in the world, and people are not bothered. People think and discuss issues from partisan cocoons, forgetting that what affects one directly affects the other indirectly. We're held together by a single network of mutuality, one blood. Now, if your brothers, if you go to Makurdi, you have IDPs, you go to Plateau, IDPs, Yobe, IDPs, everywhere. And you wonder, this country is not in war. So why are people displaced? And what is government doing about it? Good leadership and responsible leadership must start with protection of lives and properties and ensuring that Nigerians fare better than they were yesterday. So I think that that's what we must all agree and challenge government to rise into the urgency of now.
Well, there's no better way to end this conversation with you than that, of course, the value that we place on human lives in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Chris Wakobia has been speaking with us since 3 p.m. We appreciate you for joining us and being part of the conversation. Let's hope that the ears that need to hear it, and the consciences that need to be changed or affected actually, change for the best. Thank you so much, and happy Independence Day.
Same to you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Well, the phone lines are still open. We see you buzzing. 0201-277-0993, 021-465-7190. But I first want to play you a clip from Mr. President and his visit to Owerri, the Imo State capital, yesterday, and what he had to say. And then Ikechukwu and I will do a little bit of back and forth on it and allow you also to talk more on this. This video is courtesy of Channels Television. So let's take a quick listen to Mr. President.
It's a lie from the pit of hell. I've always believed in good governance. And since I assumed office, are focused on your welfare. Today, Nigeria can say confidently we have a well-equipped hospitals and we can treat critical illness such as cancer and other illnesses. We are investing in the welfare of our people. That's what you are doing. Every aspect of the pain in our economy is because of the future. And I am giving you that confidence that right now, this economy will work for you. Not for the smugglers, not for the corrupt people. You are being patient. You will persevere with us. You build an understanding. I assure you, Nigeria has just turned the corner. You will see prosperity. You will have it. Those who are...
All right. Have we turned a corner? What corner precisely? And is the corner taking us into dark alleys, or are we getting onto the highways of better days? Ikechukwu.
I'm not really surprised that the president had those things to say or said those things. What is more interesting for me, I'm not also surprised by the people who were sharing him.
No, I just want to know who those people were, the people who were clapping.
But what's more interesting for me is how it has gotten this deep, that you get to hear these things and we just move on after hearing them and everything just becomes normal. Because, okay, let's take the health angle for instance. Okay, so Nigerian hospitals have been so well equipped that it can even treat critical illnesses like cancer. Can the president at least lead by example in that regard? Is it possible? So when these things are said, it is better placed when you lead by example in those regards. And there was a time the former governor of Kaduna State brought one of his children to the public school, if you remember, and he registered the child in the public school. I don't know what has become of that now and all. So when you see, like you mentioned earlier, this example of the Ebonyi State governor, whose kids are schooling in Nigeria.
That's the only governor I know whose kids are schooling in Nigeria.
So when I hope one day we'll have somewhere in our laws where it will be placed that for Nigeria to be so interesting and sweet for you to govern or lead, you need to consume, live, and do Nigeria.
I totally agree with you.
Like in his Independence Day speech today, he also mentioned that aspect of Nigerianness, made in Nigeria thing. The car you drive, we make cars in Nigeria. At least there is a car maker in Nigeria, but the car the president drive is not made in Nigeria. It's in fact one of the most expensive in the world. So when do you begin to lead by example? These things that you say, it is fine, it's beautiful. Like I, for one, I've decided that I'm not going to buy petrol imported into Nigeria. Whatever it is, I am buying from the one made on our soil
in Nigeria.
You get? These are decisions that we have to make on our own to show these examples and begin to see things go through. But when you say these things on one hand and you do other things on the other hand, it just shows that we're just in a show. We're just living for the parade, and at the end of the day, we'll go home, come back again, and clap for ourselves.
Wow. It's crazy. I'd like to take a few of your thoughts. I have just about 5 minutes before we wrap things up here, and time just went by so fast. How come? Hello?
Miriam, good evening.
Yes.
I greet all of you.
Thank you.
You see, the president is just making rhetorics. Is it not a shame on them that they will go abroad for medical treatment, go abroad, take their children abroad, and then Professor Wokobia has said it. Religion and tribalism is our problem in this country. As you see this country now, if we can remove those two things and concentrate on good governance, you will see that we will not be where we are today. All these people, just like you said, it's only Ebonyi State. Thank God for that. What exactly? All this does Tinubu think that he's talking to children? We have sense in this country, even if we cannot fight. He should not come and be telling us tissues of lies. This is unfair to Nigerians now. We are not demanding too much in this country. We just want food on our table.
Okay. All right.
What is all this?
Ambrose, thank you so much for calling. I can literally feel the frustration in your voice. Hello.
Hello, Marianne. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, so Madam Lucky Thompson.
Go ahead.
You see, I remember some time ago, I was talking with you, and I made a comment. I know you will still shut me down now. I said at that time that if suppose they did not hand over Nigerians very early to Nigerians, Nigeria would have been great like South Africa. But you shut me down that day. You see, the thing that is in this country is that, like as one of your colleagues there said, the leaders are always coming from Nigeria. See, some years ago, if you asked me to put my money on Professor Keyamo, I will put my money because I believe in him then as a human rights. But today, he's a leader now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
So these are the issues. So we Nigerians, the whole thing that these people, they are coming from us. When even among our family, just imagine one of them that make money. The next day you see abroad. So that is just the life. We Nigerians, we are like when the president said that those days. Yes, in those days when you talk about how many of our forefathers are having that mind of traveling. Lagos back then, when I was growing up, is like UK of Nigeria today. Every Nigerian in the village, they want to be in Lagos. But today, Nigerians want to be in Canada. They want to be in, because of the social media. So it's a good life. That's why I keep saluting all those like you that remain with us in Nigeria to buy diesel to power their generator. When they can equally get a
Thank you, Madam Lucky. Thank you so much. It's a hard knock life, if you ask me.
It is actually.
I want to read some messages before we go. This one says, good afternoon, Marianne. Societies that have high trust in their systems and also high interpersonal trust usually do better economically than those with low values in their transitive trust. And transitive trust is a factor. Okay. Thank you very much for your message. You didn't give me a name. This one here is from Saviki, and he says, honestly and humbly, I'm thinking, listening to some of some broadcasters who are scared or just playing to the gallery. He says he's afraid. I don't understand what you mean. Who's playing to the gallery here? Someone here says we Nigerians we're Nigerians because Flora Shaw christened us so. I consider myself a Nigerian by fiat, not by choice. The way Nigeria was created alone is something we actually need to probe into, then evolve a Nigeria on our own terms and not those of the colonialists. Before discussing election reforms, educational curriculum, and the constitution, we need to agree on a philosophy, what we want to base our unity on, and adopt an ideology that we want to be identified by, and then evolve us fresh constitution thereof. But with this mess we've made of the country that was created for us, I doubt we have any ideological depths to create a country.
True.
Now only English we sabi. Any attentive person who studies the trend should know that Nigeria is working exactly on how those who crested it wanted it too. This is why Nigerians vote in people who they do not have clear definition of their vision to lead them, only to come on radio again and start analyzing visionlessness of the people that they voted in. What an ironic tragedy.
So you see the social engineering that has gone into the fabrics of our society is such that we have been so separated from the supposed closest form of government to us, which is the local government. So when you're so detached from that level, nothing. We're all focused on the president.
See, that's a conversation
so
that
bad
is
and
for
terrible.
another day.
Mhm.
We don't even know the names of our councillors. Some of us don't know the wards that we I know my ward. I know my ward in Calabar. I know my ward here in Lagos.
Oh, okay, you try.
Some people don't even know the local government chairman. They don't know his name. It's. But
Where are we heading? Do we have a
no,
goal?
No. We have to press the brakes and start somewhere.
Recalibrate
And
straight.
decide where we want to go to.
Uh-huh.
But I want to say thank you, NLB of Neat Initiative, Professor Chris Wakobia, Ike Chuku, for joining us here in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
And every other person who's been part of the conversation from morning till now. Thank you, Sheriff Cordia Walga, for putting everything together. He's been doing producer work since morning. He has not got to rest. We appreciate you all, and the digital guys, everyone who's made this a success. We appreciate you. Tomorrow we're back to regular programming. It doesn't mean that we're stopping. We're going to continue to talk about Nigeria's problems and see how we can find solutions. My name is Marianne Okon. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEYO. Better so you can search for Marianne Dikuku. Follow Nigeria Info on all of his social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Yes, and do not miss any of our programs. Download the Nigeria Info FM mobile application. That way you can take us everywhere you go. I love you, Lagos. Happy Independence Day.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.